Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. We have some participants tonight. This is the Math 1401 meeting for February 11th, 8 p.m. I see Ms. Obase, and I have another participant, but I cannot see your name. So I guess we'll start. See if y'all have any questions tonight.
Yes, please.
Well,
I tried to work question 3 in my lab statistic, question 3.2.31. So I keep on failing it. So I don't know. It's like I've not mastered it. 0.31.
3.2.
31.
Okay, 3.2.31.
Yes, please.
Okay. I don't have that in front of me, and I don't think my version of it, what it shows me is 3.2.31, would be exactly the same as yours. Is there any way you can give me yours? Mr.
I
Rose,
think it should be different, but each time I go to do it, they give me a different question.
I know, it's frustrating.
It's frustrating. So long as you fail the question, when you go in, it gives you another question.
Yeah.
So
I know what you mean. Can you give me the last version it gave you? We can try that one, and maybe you can adjust it for whatever.
Okay, it talks about the I think 68%, 99.7%, 95.7%. The question talks of I think a range. From a range, then they give you these three for you to determine, which comes with figures like you have like 250 and 350. So in my lab, I didn't copy the question, but.
Okay. Did you, I heard you mention 95%, 99.7%. This came up on the empirical rule. Did it refer to this?
Yes, my problem is not really this place. My problem is when they give the figures, they give the figures, they say 50, let me say 250 to this score. It has this, it is greater on this score. Then this, they put the figures. So they put the figures. So I really don't know how, like, when you reach there, I don't know. I noticed that some, to put a range, you need to subtract some. You need to subtract a number from another one. But the problems are not the same. They are like 3 different kinds.
Yeah, I know. Drives you nuts. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I'll give you just a quick example, just so you. I'll have to make up a mean and standard deviation. Let's say your mean is 100 and say your standard deviation is 20. Just trying to make the numbers really easy. And it is a sample question like what percent between 60 and 140, something like this?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And the question say like 95% did approximately this to this. Then the other question says 68% did this. Then they give the range.
Okay, like this?
Yes, like that, exactly.
And then they ask for the percent?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you lay out.
No, the first one, please. The first one says you should give the I think it's the range. This to this. You see two, there are two empty spaces there. The first space and the second space. That's the first question.
Okay. So you're saying it's not worded like this?
It's like this, but the first question, what they are asking there is for you to give the range. After they have given, I don't know how. I don't have
Okay.
the question, but it is in my lab.
So let me, so you're saying maybe it's like 68% of the data are between what numbers?
They can give like 350 to 4 something.
Yeah, it's without seeing the exact numbers. I could work a
Yes.
problem similar to 68% of the data are between what numbers, something like this?
Yes.
Okay,
So actually that question has part A, B, C, D.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if they give you something like this, do you see how they're pointing you to row 1 here?
Yes, please.
And K equals 1. Okay, so I don't know what, exact number. They have to give you a mean and a standard deviation.
Yes, actually the statement up, they will give you like 300, and then they give you another figure like 10 or 20.
That'd be the standard deviation.
Yes.
Okay.
So my problem was, how do I get these numbers to put in that
Well,
in those space?
I can stop the share and go back and try to pull this one up, at least my version of it, and then maybe.
Yes, please.
Okay, well, let me finish this one. If
Okay.
it was worded about something like this with this mean and standard deviation, see, with K equals 1, 100 for the mean, you'd be adding 20. One standard deviation, you'd be at 120.
Mm-hmm.
And at -1 low, you'd be at 80. Because you'd be going 100 minus 20. So you'd be for between 80 and 120 with these numbers. Would have 68%.
Okay.
But I know that probably doesn't help you when you go back and do this one. So I'd have to stop the share and go pull this up. Do you want me to do that?
Yes, please.
Okay, and again, it may not be exactly the same as yours, but maybe you can.
No, but it's not exact, but it's the same setting. Yeah.
Right. Maybe you can puzzle it out from the example we do.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, I'll see if I can pull it up. It'll take me about 2 or 3 minutes. Oh, we've got about 3 participants now. I'm going to stop the share, try to pull up this problem from my lab and work it for her. And then after that, maybe if anybody else has any more questions. All right, be right back. It'd probably take 2 or 3 minutes for me to get back.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. All right, I'm resuming recording. Can you see the problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So is this a similar problem to that what you want to see? The mean. I'm writing down these numbers so I can then switch back to the camera and show you how I'm going to work it.
Yes, please.
Okay. Standard deviation is 50. Empirical rule. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. You can't see what I'm writing. 68, 95, and 99.7. Okay. All right. A. All right. 68%. I'm just paraphrasing the questions. What weights B percent between 230 and 430? C, less than 230 or greater than 430. And D, percent between 280 and 430. Okay, I think I've got it all written down here. I'm going to switch back to the camera. Appreciate all y'all coming out tonight. I've got 5 people out tonight. Appreciate it. Maybe just a second, get back to the camera. Not showing the camera on the screen. Again. Okay. Can y'all hear see the camera now?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I wrote down the key numbers. They said it was bell-shaped, which leads to what they call the empirical rule. And here are the percentages. You understand what those percentages are telling you?
Yes, please.
Okay. 68% of the numbers on a bell curve within 1 standard deviation of the mean. 95% within 2 and 99.7% within 3. So if I come down here to part A, it's very similar to that practice one I just worked. Your mean at the center is 330. 68% are within the weights that are within 1 standard deviation of the mean. So with these numbers, 1 standard deviation would add 50. That would make it 380. And minus 1 low, you'd go 330, subtract 50. I think that'd make it 280. So the answer, 68% are between 280 and 380. Yeah, there'd be 100 between them. You see why? Because you went 50 up and you went 50 down. That would make 100 between them. It makes perfect sense to me. Looks like I put 2800, my fault, 280. Any questions about that? Did I do that too fast? I'm hearing silence.
My question is, are we supposed to like mark the line between the mean and it veers towards the right?
Where do I mark this line?
No, for the 68%. Should it falls within, because if it's 280 to 330, it goes beyond 280 to 380 goes beyond the mean.
Right. So what it's saying is, if it's the mean is 330 at the center, and the average distance of each number from the mean is 50, that's the standard deviation. 68% of the numbers are within 1 of these from the mean. So that means you can be up. 50 up would be the extreme, that's 380.
Okay.
And you could also be down.
Okay.
So 330 minus 50 should be 280. So
Is
in this interval, you're within one standard deviation of the mean, and 68% lie between those two numbers, 280 and 380.
Okay.
Okay, so think you got that?
yes, please.
Okay. Are we ready for B?
Yes, please.
Okay. B is kind of the reverse. They're going to extend it out to 230 and 430. And we're going to ask what percent. All right, so B says percent between 230 and 430. Again, the mean in the middle is 380. Now I've got to work my way up here, and I got to find my K, because that K is going to refer to one of these three rows, and that'll give me the percent.
1 minute.
Excuse
quick
me,
question.
sir.
Go ahead.
I thought the mean is 330.
It is 330.
Yeah, I thought it's 3:30 too.
Yeah, my fault. You're right. This is confusing enough without me screwing up. You're absolutely right. It's 330. There's a bit of a delay on the Wi-Fi now. There I go. There's about a 10-second delay on the Wi-Fi, unfortunately, tonight. Yeah, you're right. So I got to work my way up to 430. Can you do it in your head?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's 100, right? And the standard deviation is, you want to get up to 430. Well, you add
Two standard deviations here.
Yeah, you got to one standard deviation. That's at 380. So yeah, add another 50. And you're at two standard deviations.
430.
430.
Yes, please.
Well, I can bring the table down. So at 430, you're at two standard deviations.
Okay.
So from the table, two standard deviations, you're at 95%. So that's the answer. The percent between 230 and 430 would be 95%.
Okay.
I could do the negative side and show it.
Yeah.
I'll let the Wi-Fi catch up. There's about a 10-second delay. Are we okay on that part?
Yes, please.
Yes.
All right. So now I'll go to C, and they're asking percent less than 230 or greater than 430. I'll let the Wi-Fi catch up. This morning it was working perfectly. You'd think it'd be a little less, late at night, you'd think it'd be okay. All right. Just to picture this, we know at 430, you're at two standard deviations, and at 230, you're negative two standard deviations. Meaning at the center, 330. Why not change that to 330? No. That was 380.
3:30.
Yeah, sorry. It was correct. Yeah, corrected that. Okay. So we know it's 95% from part B in between there, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to show that here. The writing, like I say, it's about 10 seconds behind. Here I go. Okay, so they're asking the percent less than 230 is over here. Percent greater than 430 is over here, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, I've shaded outside, let it catch up. I did this 10 seconds ago. It's a little weird watching the delay. Okay. The secret to this ancient Chinese secret is that what is the overall percentage?
430.
Well, the overall percentage,
Oh,
I've drawn a line, is what's a whole?
100.
100,
100.
100.
right. Well, I'm showing that. Let it catch up and it'll show that. There it goes. I'm gonna write the 100 down. And comment on my own thing since it happened 10 seconds ago. Okay. And so do you see what the answer would be here? What would be on both sides if you got 95 out of 100 in the middle?
5%.
Very good, 5%. Your answer, I'm writing it down, 100 minus 95 would be 5%. Let it catch up, it'll show it. Okay, so there's part C. I hope you can, if they change the numbers on you when you go back to do one like this, I hope that you can puzzle it out from this.
Yes, please.
Yeah, did you want to see part D?
Yes, please.
Okay. 280 to 430. This is going to be a bit of a puzzle. E. I'm rewriting the problem. Percent between 280 and 430. This is going to be a bit of a puzzle.
Can't we just say, okay, since it's 280, then it will be one standard deviation, then it will be half of a 5%, then 2.5%. Is it that simple?
It might be. I try to puzzle it out with the number line in the table, but yeah, it might be. Let's see if we get the same answer. All right, I'm going to redraw the table here. 1, 2, 3, 68, 95, and 99.7. I'm redrawing the number line, 330. 280 is, standard deviation, remember, was 50. So that's a -1 number. I'll let it catch up. So the point being, the 280 is a k equal 1 number. Now I know generically it's technically -1. Maybe it's too confusing. They just generically kind of refer to them by their positive part. All right, you see why that is? You see how I know 280 is a k equal 1 number, 1 standard deviation?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, now I get it.
All right, if you remember further up the page in other parts, and we could redo it, the 430 was a k equal 2 number. Everybody get that?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Okay, so they're kind of mixing things. That they gave you an interval that's kind of mixed. It isn't exactly one of these.
Okay.
So let's puzzle it out. If I
7
go-
points.
Yeah, if
Seven-
I go over 1, the net number is 380. And between here, I'll do it below it. Here and here, I got 68. That was part A. 280 to 380 was 68%. You see that?
Yes, please.
Yes.
So that's part of my answer. If I run from 280 to over to 430, I go from 280 to the 380 and I got 68. So that's part of my answer. But I got to come up with this extra piece. All right, well, on the 2 interval, down -2, I think we had 230 further up the page. Yeah, it'd be 100 down. So from here to here, you're at 95. Everybody see that? That lines up with that, that lines up with that.
Yeah.
So do you see if I want to puzzle out that piece right there on the right side? So do you see if I went 95, instead of subtracting from 100, if I went 95 minus 68, I would get both of these pieces?
Yes.
Okay,
But it will be, yes.
right. But that's not, you're right, that's not the answer.
Yes, it's not.
Okay, but it's important because that'll tell me what's outside the 68.
Okay, to add to the 68 to get it.
Right, but you see, I'm gonna have to divide it by 2. So if I go 95 minus 68, what would I come up with? 27.
27.
27% both sides. So what's on this side? Hey, there's no more delay on the Wi-Fi. Whoa, it went away. Hey, that's great. So what is just on this side? 27 what? 27
Divided by 2.
bingo. Half of 27 would be 13 is 26, so 13 and a half?
Yes.
Yeah. So your actual answer, hey, there's no more delay. That's great. I don't know what happened to it. Actual answer is 68
Plus 13. Okay.
plus 13 and a half, or I'll go 27 divided by 2. So this is one way to do it. Are we getting the same answer you quoted to me?
No, I thought we are looking for
81 and a half.
yes, 81.5. But I said 5%. I thought we were looking, I mean one standard deviation. I thought we were looking for the standard deviation. I didn't know is the percentage we're looking for.
Okay.
Okay.
There may be other ways to do it. This is the way I see it, just from writing out these intervals. Okay, well, that was all the parts on that one. I hope that helps you with the exact version that they give you when you go back and redo it. Hey, you know, I'm sorry they don't give you the exact same problem, but I didn't write this program. I'm just trying to survive it. I wish they would give you the exact same thing that, you know, that kind of help you rather than give you new numbers.
They don't. Once you fail it, you go to retake, they give you another. So you can do like 6 different kind of problems.
6 different of
Before
them, man.
failing.
I understand. Well, is there,
I think I'm good. I'm good to go.
Professor, can I ask a question about the exam?
absolutely.
Okay. This is my own opinion, though. One, are we still going to have the same way you did it the last time, like you set up the questions and then we have to figure out if it's correct or not?
That is correct. Yes, it's going to work that way.
Okay. My question is, to me, going in to put if it's true or false, why some of the answers might be true and some might be false. Why don't we now try and see if our answers match with yours, and then put in the figures, because sometimes we'll get it and say, oh, it's true, but you put false. So what we need to put is false or what? I don't know, maybe it's my brain, it's not really recording these things. I can easily, I can do them. Let me remove the word easily, maybe it will get harder. But going into to figure out if it's true, that is the hard part for me, honestly.
I understand. It was confusing. That's why I tried to get everybody to think in terms of whether things were correct. I'll just let you know, you're through most of the true and false. There may be a couple true faults on this next test, but most of the rest of the semester, it's going to be working problems like this. And you're going to decide, gee, did I do this correctly? And you'll say true, yes, it's correct. Or did I screw it up? Like maybe I went 95 minus 68 and got 37.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you're gonna say, no, doggone that, Mr. C screwed that up. False is correct. So most of them are going to work that way. I don't have very many more true false on the test. Then you put true or false on your form.
Okay, so thank you.
Oh,
Appreciate that.
Yes, don't thank me all at once. Yeah, I kind of did that on the first test just because there's so much English on that first stuff. But we're getting away from the English and definition.
Yeah, I prefer let's get away from the English, please.
Yeah, statistics does have a lot of words in English in it.
No, I think what confuses me a little bit with the first test was the question in English just say true or false, and then you write everything, you understand. I was like, okay, true or false. So when I went to the answer to choose the answer, I was like, the answer said true or false. Am I supposed to put true or false?
That's why I'm trying to get you to think in terms of whether I am correct.
Yeah, that's the best. The best is the one you solve it and you put the answer for us to determine if it is correct or not. I think that one is the best.
Yes, most of the rest are going to work that way.
Yeah, if you can do it and not allow us to say true or false, please. If you just say the answer and say we put in the answer, if it matches yours, yes. If it doesn't match yours, we put in the answer we felt is correct. Yeah. Instead of going, yeah. Because my concern is I don't just solve one and then leave it and go ahead. If it's false, I just write false, because I have to solve the rest of the questions. And some of the questions turned out to be true, while one or maybe two amongst them is false. So I don't know if the whole answer will be false or the whole answer will be partially true or true, false, false. So it goes into really, I'm new to the system. Maybe that's why.
It's a logic convention. If you take a computer science class and take logic, for something to be true, everything in it has to be true.
Okay.
If there's even one part false, whole thing's false.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to follow that convention.
Okay, recorded.
Yeah. Yeah, it's frustrating online. I can understand. I'm glad that I did not have to learn this way. I never thought things would get this way with COVID. It just never, in my wildest dreams, believed that it would get this way. And I feel so sorry for my kids, because my daughter is online at Georgia, and my son is online here in Hall County. And I don't see how they're learning near as much as they would in a regular classroom.
Yeah, it's awful. I have two at Georgia State and they hate it. I mean, they're online too, and they're just so ready to be back in a classroom setting, if not just part-time. I mean, 2 days a week or something, it's awful.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, and the thing is, this is really not set up for your standard math where you're used to writing out your answers and it might take 3 or 4 steps like in algebra. Well, you see how many steps I took to work this part out. And you see, if I just said, find your percent and demanded an answer from you, and the answer was to write all this out, there's a real problem in turning that into me.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because you probably don't have this camera set up to show me on the computer. So then you got to have some sort of scanner. And I can't require you to own a scanner.
That's true.
And so then if you did have a scanner, and you just imagine, and you scanned this in and sent it to me, well, then I've got to print it, which uses my ink in my printer. I've got to write my corrections on it and my grade on it. Well, then how do I give it back to you?
You gotta rescan it and send it to us.
Exactly, and I do have a scanner, so then I got to rescan it and resend it back to you. Okay, now you're thinking, well, I'm just one person. What's the big deal? The big deal is I've got 136 students.
That's it.
Yeah.
And if,
Oh,
let's say one test, they're like 5 or 6, the tests are like 5 or 6 pages, but let's make the math easy, make them 10 pages. 136 students on a 10-page test, you're looking at 1,360 pages.
That's a lot.
And then if you multiply that by, I'm given 5 tests, so whatever 1,360 times 5 is, plus the final, so it's actually times 6. I would literally be here for the next 2 or 3 years. And we have to finish this by May. There's just no way.
That's true.
So this is the method I came up with. Online is much more suited for subjects like maybe English, social science, history,
Yeah.
that are well suited to multiple choice, fill in the blank, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, rant is over. Y'all have any other questions?
I'm not sure if someone asked the question before I came on. The test is gonna open on Friday as usual, and then we'll have until Sunday at midnight to take it.
I always set the due date to be Sunday, but there's always people who email me and go, God, this happened, that, I can't get it done by Sunday. So I always have an absolutely final date. I set it Wednesday for the first test. I'll probably do the same thing. I'll set an absolute final deadline of like Wednesday at midnight. And I won't consider any submissions on it after Wednesday at midnight, but I can make you feel bad that you're late between Sunday and Wednesday, but there's no late penalty.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. No, don't
Yeah.
thank me all at once. It overwhelms me.
I need to be coming to this class more often.
COVID.
But yeah, it'll work like the first, I'll have all this written out in the instructions, but I'm going to mail you the test form by email. The test form will not be in D2L. I have not figured out how to put a freehand test form in D2L. So you'll have a freehand test form by email. The test form for this test, since it's proctored, will be in D2L. And you'll find it below that practice quiz. It will look like the Google form. It will say number 1, true or false, problem is correct. Number 2, true or false, problem is correct. It'll go for 20 problems.
Okay.
And so, yeah, now the only difference is I believe it'll let you click on the true or false. You won't have to type them in.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
I believe, but I can't tell because I can't see your side of it.
Okay.
But it should be really straightforward to figure out how to actually enter the true or false. I think you can click on it. Okay. Just like the first test, you will not be able to see the answers. You won't get immediate answers. I will release the answers and your scores after the Wednesday night at midnight deadline.
Okay. Professor, what's the time duration for the exam?
I do not have the exam timed. I hate to admit this, we're being recorded. I shouldn't say this I don't know how to do that. Okay, so, I mean, you're welcome to, when we want to start the test on Friday and you want to leave it open till Wednesday night, I mean, help yourself. The thing is, it's
I love
on
it.
this monitor,
Thank you.
your computer will be locked down
Yeah.
and you won't be able to do anything else with it. At least that's what they tell me until you submit the test. So
Thank
if you want to work out that's the reason for distributing the test form ahead of time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you want to work out your answers ahead of time,
Yeah.
then you can get on the Respondus Monitor, submit your answers, and maybe you can do it 10 or 15 minutes and, get on with your life and your computer won't be locked down for
Thank
much
you.
longer than
Thank
that.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Oh, yeah, again, don't thank me all at once. The other thing is, this is the free method. There are other ways to proctor, like 3 other methods. I won't go into what they are, but they all cost money. Oh, the only other free one is if I made you actually physically come to the school. They've got classrooms reserved and you personally take the test in front of me. That's free. But we would have to reserve a time and I have to reserve a time with the other professors. The schedule's on the wall at the school. And actually my boss told me not to do that because I'm at high risk for COVID. He said not even bother to do that, just to use this Respondus Monitor.
Okay.
But otherwise, if we could use the testing, what's it called? It's over there it's by Ollie's in that monitor. If you ever took a test in there, testing center, that's $35 a test.
Oh, yes.
I found out that there are actually teachers making you take every test in there at $35 a test.
What?
Yeah.
What? There's no money.
Yeah, and there's another option. I can't remember the name of it. It's $25 a test. ProctorU, I think it's called.
No.
So the schools let me do this and it's free.
Thank you.
Oh, please. Is there any other questions? We didn't get too many problems worked tonight, but I tried to work up much more examples in the other 2 videos. You've had a chance to look at them.
Yeah, the videos are like a savior. Watching them helps a lot.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know if anybody ever watched them. Okay.
I do. I watch them repeatedly.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to, unless you're a statistician. I mean,
Right.
I have to. They're helpful.
Okay.
Very.
All right. Well, sure thing. Is there anything else I can show you all tonight? Did you want to see any other examples of anything, or y'all had about all you can stand? Everybody's gone silent. Is this, this mean everybody's about finished?
I think a review, like a review on is it 3.5?
Okay.
Yeah.
You want a quick review of 3.5?
Yes, please.
All right. In 3.5, they had you find a 5-number summary. It read, well, the book calls it minimum. First quartile is Q1. Q2, that's your median. third quartile, and maximum. Read that. The calculator, it's right on the calculator, second page. They call this min X, Q1, median, Q3, and max X, like TJ Maxx. Did you want to see an example?
Yes, please.
Okay. Do you want me to punch in a set of data?
Yes, please.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Mr.
Well,
P,
let's
I have a question.
Yes,
And,
go ahead.
What if we are given more than 5 set of number and then we don't have a calculator like yours? How can we figure out the 5 numbers?
Well, that's a good point. You're going to have to figure out on your calculator what these individual things are. And yeah, I only really teach the 84 because that's the official school calculator. And I mean, you could always, you should be able to spot the min and max. I mean, you should be able to spot the biggest number and the smallest number. The rest of these median, you got to line them up least to greatest and figure out what the numbers in the middle. And then you got to figure out what's the middle of the first half and the middle of the last half. That could be a little, more difficult if you want to do it by hand. But otherwise, you'd have to, figure out on your calculator what these individual things are, or do it by hand. Don't really, have any other. Most of this data.
In StatLab, you can use, they have Excel, you can do it, put in a spreadsheet, or you can use, it's another little calculator that's built into StatLab where you can input the numbers.
If y'all can figure out,
Excel sheet has been very helpful.
What is?
Excel sheets.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what helped me through because I had to do 3 of the assignments in 24 hours. It was the Excel sheet that really helped me.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really teach all the different methods because I don't know, it just winds up being confusing. And then I get complained, some people love it like you, and then other people, God, why are you making me do it? I can't figure that, it just overwhelms them different ways. Not everybody loves every different method, Do you want to see a set of numbers? Let me see. I think I punched a set of numbers in at the 12 p.m. meeting. Let me see what's in my calculator. Stat, edit. I believe these are the numbers for problem 11, which is an age of a mother at birth. If I can, here we are. Can I just go with that all punched in, or do y'all want to waste your Zoom time watching me re-punch these in again?
No, that's fine. We can go with the numbers already in.
Okay.
I mean, if everybody's okay with it.
Is everybody okay with, I punched all these numbers in number 11 down this column. Everybody know how to do that? There were 25 of them. No, more than that. There were 30 of them. They took 30 mothers and their age at their time of their first birth, when they gave birth to their first child. Can I just go with this data and show you how to get the 5-number summary?
Yes, please.
Okay. So once the data is entered, you hit Stat, over to Calc, enter on number 1 variable stats, and then enter again. Okay, here you are. All right, first page gives you mean and both standard deviations, which they don't ask for in this problem. We want our 5-number summary. So the TI-84 is set up, if you keep hitting down, set right up to give it to you in order, just vertically. So your smallest, you got a 16-year-old mother in this data. Q1's 20, median's 20, median age 23.5. Third quartile's 26, and the loadless mother in this data was 35. So if you wrote down, this is for page 163. This is problem 21. I'm sorry, it's problem 11, my fault. We have 16. I'm writing it out horizontally. 20 for Q1. Median is 23.5. Book calls it Q2. Q3, 26. And the biggest number is 35. So yes, once you enter a set of data, you can read the 5-number summary right off the calculator. Second page of statistics on it.
I'm getting this calculator now.
Okay, you want to get this calculator?
I have to, because this took a lot of time for you to get the formulas to put in. You have to figure out if this is it. Oh my God, this made it really easy. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. You'd be here a long time figuring this out by hand. That's 30 numbers. And I mean, we literally take probably 20, 30 minutes to puzzle these, particularly these 3 in the middle, out by hand.
What I normally do is to write them down in ascending order, and then determine the mean or maybe the median, and then use it to do the calculation. But this calculator made me look like, let's see if I'm just doing that.
Yeah. TI-84, they've set it right up to do this. All right, so then that was the first part of 3.5. The second part was to put this on a box plot. Did you want to see that done?
Yes, please.
Okay. I usually draw a line. This is called a box and whisker plot.
Now, with the graphing calculator, it won't graph box plot, will it?
Yeah, I think it does, but I don't think it keeps the same convention of this. But I think there is an option for a stat plot for a box and whisker plot. Yeah, I think you can. The problem is you're going to have to copy it down anyway. So I usually don't. It is a bit of a project to get it to do it. So I usually just do that by hand.
Okay.
All right. And so, yeah, I draw, guess what? A box. Who knew that I draw a box on a box and whisker plot? And then I stick a line in the center. All right, everybody know how to translate these numbers down onto it? Left side of the box is Q1, 20. Middle of the box is Q2, which is the median, 23.5. Right side of the box is Q3, 26. That's what I was talking about on the last video, doing it inside out. Okay, so that's the easy stuff off your 5-number summary. Are you ready to do the outside of the plot? That was your fences. Find LF, lower fence. Have you got the formulas for these? Q1, subtract 1.5 times your IQR. That's that interquartile range. And that was Q3 minus Q1. I'm just going to punch it all at once rather than figure this separately. Are we losing anybody?
Yes,
No,
yes,
please.
It makes sense?
yes.
Yes.
Over here, I can put LF. All right, so for these numbers, you have 20, subtract 1.5.
18.5.
What now?
18, sorry, I was just doing the calculation.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can see my IQR is pretty easy. It's just 6, but if you want to, punch the whole thing, that's fine. So I have 20 minus 1.5 times 26 minus 20. It's up 11. Now, there are lines out the end, they're called the whiskers. They don't go all the way to the 11. That's where things got tricky. But let me get the upper fence on, and then we'll explain where the lines go to. Upper fence takes Q3 and adds 1.5 times that IQR. And the Q3 worked out, the Q3 was 26, and add 1.5 times 26 minus 20. So 26 add 1.5 times 26 minus 20. They're off. 35. All right, are we ready to draw our whiskers?
I have a question.
One quick question. Okay.
Okay, somebody had a question.
Yes, please. Where is 1.5 coming from? I'm lost.
I will show you.
My question is, though I'm not using a calculator, but 27.5 times 6, I don't see how it is 35.
You talking about this upper fence?
Yes.
Did I blow that? Let me punch it again. I got 26, the Q3. Add 1.5 times the IQR. The IQR is your Q3 minus Q1, which in effect, the IQR is this distance. Q3 minus Q1. And she's asking, where's the 1.5 coming from? I'm frantically hunting the page. They give it to you twice. I'll show you the first time. It was back in 3.4. Right here, page 153.
Okay. Okay.
Lower fence,
Yes,
upper
please.
fence. It establishes values where you can define outliers. See, if you're
Okay.
less than the lower fence or greater than the upper fence, it's an outlier.
Okay. Thank you so much.
The second time they give you is in 3.5, they repeat it right here. Drawing these box plots, they'll tell you step one to do the fences first. And they repeat the formulas. And they're repeating the IQR right there again.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Now, here's where I don't know if we got this across in my earlier videos, but the line goes to the lowest data value inside the fence. So if you look at the data, this is problem 11. I believe the lowest, well, you can also see it on the page here. The minimum value is 16. So this line does not go to 11, it goes to 16. Did we get that across?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. The other side is fuzzy. You're supposed to play the same game and go to the biggest data value inside the fence. Now, 35 is an actual data value. It's right there. That's right on the fence. So, you know, if you wanted to go out to 30, well, 35 is a data value. It's right on, technically, it's not technically inside the fence. It's right on the fence, but that's an actual data value. whereas 11 is not. There's not any 11-year-old mamas out there, at least in this problem. Okay, but if you wanted to be really anal, what's the next? There's a 33. Yeah, there's two 33, but that doesn't matter. There's two of them. The 33 looks like the next smallest data value. So somebody really anal who wanted to stop it at 33, because technically that's inside the fence. You know, I wouldn't mark it wrong. You could do either one. That's where things get fuzzy. Questions about that?
No, please.
My question is 26 point plus 1.5 gives 27.5, and 27.5 times 6 is gonna be a lot of numbers. That's my concern if it's not 35.
Okay, let me see if are you talking about the upper fence?
Yes, sir, but the upper and the lower fence, I feel the 11 and the 35 are, from what I'm trying to get my calculator, but 20 minus 1.5 is 18.5. 18.5 times 6 is
No. I see what you're doing. So think about your algebra. Order of operations. You're subtracting here before you're doing this multiply.
Yes.
You got to go 1.5 times the 6, subtract that from.
Oh, okay, board mass. Okay. And then subtract. Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, so you shouldn't get 27.5 out of this. It's 1.5 times 6 and add that to 26, which hopefully.
Yes. Board mass. Okay.
All right. That's really all that was in 3.5. This 5-number summary, you can read it right off the calculator and then translating it onto a box plot. Oh, we're at 1 hour, 5 minutes. Boy, we're having fun. Y'all want to see anything else?
I'm good.
Okay. Oh, 5 participants tonight. All right, y'all came out late tonight. All right, we'll look for the test tomorrow. Good luck on it.
Thank
I've still
you.
got to stay up late and make it up.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Okay, well, sure thing. Appreciate y'all coming out and y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.